So what's the title of this article?
Master on the Mound.
As a good reader, you automatically think strategically and actively to understand what you read. As a tutor, your challenge is to learn specific reading comprehension strategies to teach explicitly, one at a time, to your learner. By learning comprehension strategies, your learner will become aware of how to think in order to make meaning while reading. Scanning a text to find a specific piece of information is a strategy that may help struggling readers improve their comprehension. People commonly scan for specific information when they read dictionaries, recipes, bus schedules, weather reports, computer listings, forms, classified ads, and phone books. Tutoring pairs might also practice scanning as a pre-reading strategy to identify unfamiliar words in a text.
So before we read this, I know that, when we're talking about bugs and spiders, there can be a lot of vocabulary and terminology that is pretty complex that we don't know. It can really hinder our comprehension, right? Because we're like, wait, my flow of trying to understand what I'm reading is stopped because now I have to figure out what this word is. Mm-hmm. And so as a comprehension strategy, a pre-reading strategy, before we even start reading the text, we look to see whether there's any vocabulary on the page that we don't know, that might cause us not to understand what we're reading. Mm-hmm. And so the way to do that is with the skill of
scanning. Yeah.
Scanning, exactly.
Scanning
is a tool for comprehension. And so because we don't want to be reading every word, we're not actually reading it. This is a pre-reading activity. So before we read every single word and, for meaning, first of all, we want to scan the page to see if any words that we're not familiar with pop out at us. And so then we can identify those words and make a list of them, and then we can look them up in the dictionary, or we can talk about them. We can try to figure out what they mean from context. But scanning is a really useful tool in this case. So could you please now just scan page 9 and look for any words. What words pop out at you that you might not know the meaning of, or that you might not recognize?
This word.
This word right here?
Yeah.
Wandering.
Wandering spider.
Wandering. The Brazilian wandering spider. Do you know what wandering means?
Wandering is walking somewhere else.
Yeah, you just kind of walk from place to place. You don't have any real direction or yeah, okay. Now that we've scanned it and we've talked about it, do you think when we go back later and read this,
the Brazil wandering
you're going to remember it, right?
Yeah,
and you're going to say, oh yeah, that's wandering. I'm not going to get stuck now. Okay, good.
No.
So did scanning help in that?
Yes.
Okay. So do you want to scan and see if there are any other words that you might not recognize?
Venom?
Venom, very good.
Venom.
Do you know what the meaning of venom is?
Venom is poison.
Very good, okay. But you weren't, so you know the meaning of venom, but you weren't sure that that word was venom?
Yeah.
You just wanted to check and be sure?
Yeah, I wanted to check, make sure.
Okay, before we read, because you didn't want to slow down to think about it as we're trying to read for meaning.
Yes.
Okay. So anything else that you want to talk about after scanning?
They want to have 250 spiders are dangerous to people.
Oh, I would have thought that there are more. Okay. So from scanning, you just learned already, without reading everything, you learned a really interesting fact that you can...
just a little part.
Yeah. We can share that at parties and amaze people. So it looks to me like you've done a great job of scanning this page, and you've found the words that were trouble spots for you, and we've had a chance to discuss them. So was this helpful for you to, before we read this page, was it helpful for you to scan it?
Yes, it was very helpful.
Okay. In what way was it helpful?
Looking up words I don't know.
Okay. So is this something that you would like to do on a routine basis?
Yes.
That before we read a page or before we read a story or an article, that You just get into the
You
habit.
scan before you read the article.
Yeah, and you don't need me around to do that, right? You can do that when you're reading anything on your own.
Yes, on my own.
At home, at work, and anything you're doing, you can scan, and that's a great,
that's something you can do.
yeah, a good comprehension strategy. Okay, all right.
The goal of practicing reading comprehension is for your learner to master and internalize more and more comprehension strategies to choose from and use in a variety of reading situations. You've seen a tutor do quite a bit of talking when explaining a new strategy. During most lessons, you and your learner would be equally talkative,